First of all, I want to thank you, Dr. Vitul sir, for giving me opportunity for talking on this very important topic. As you know, behind the smile, unseen struggles of student mind. Behind every cheerful student lies a story that often goes unheard. Academic pressure, family expectation, peer comparison, these factors weigh heavily on a student's mind. Today we will shine a light on these hidden struggles that make a real difference in helping students lead healthier and happy life. This is the agenda of my today's presentation. Suicide is a silent epidemic. Suicide is now a leading cause of death. India is a leading cause of death among young Indians between 15 to 29 aged. This presentation explores the death, uncovers the root cause, and calls for urgent action to build safer and more supportive system for our youth. It's look to beyond grades and recognize the emotional toll our system impose. Especially in India, we look beyond only grades. We look on grades, not beyond grades. Suicide. This is the data released by NCRB in 2022, which records the total number of approximately 1,71,000 suicide, marking 4.2 increase from 2021 and significant jump from 2018, which is 1 lakh people reached an all-time high of 12.4 in 2022. Suicide rates are rising at a rate of 4.2 annually, which is a double national average for overall suicide. The national average is 2% overall suicide, but student suicides are rising at a rate of 4% annually. Over the last decade, the number of suicides has nearly doubled, which were approximately 6,600, and now in 2022, which is 13,000 approximately. These are just a data. Key comparison between student suicides and farmers. A tragic crossover. In 2022, student suicide has crossed the farmer suicide, which were 13,000 in 2022, and farmer suicide were 11,000 approximately. The underlying factors among student suicide is academic pressure, exam anxiety, lack of mental health are the key drivers. And among farmers, as you know, financial distress, climate-related crop devastation, latest is floods. Now come to the common root causes of student suicides. Main is the academic pressure and toxic competitiveness. Unyielding academic pressure places a severe burden on students' mental health. High-stake exams often define a student's worth based on a performance on a single day, like NEET exam, IITs. Fear of failure in one exam has tragically led many students to take their own lives. As one expert put it, we prepare them for exams, not for life. The narrow definition of success. Parents and society have a lofty aspiration for students' academic performance, frequently equating it with future employment opportunities and social standings. For students, the competitiveness in India's educational system is a very stressful and difficulty component. Societal and interpersonal factors affecting students' mental health. Academic stress, toxic environments, relationship issues, financial instability, and social isolation are common stressors. Young women faces added challenges like gender-based violence, societal restrictions, and discriminations. Rural areas often lack safe spaces and support systems, worsening mental health struggles. Unfiltered exposure to social media, special reels can lead to mental imbalance and impulsive behavior. Ragging, still the hidden threat is in higher education. Behind campus walls, ragging and bullying still persist, often masked by institutional silence and reputation management. These practices violate student dignity and undermine their right to a safe learning environment. The state has a duty to ensure access and safety at entry level. Still, the caste discrimination on campus is a plague at India's top-level institution, leaving marginalized students feeling isolated and unsupported. Lack of safe spaces and cultural sensitivity worsens the mental toll on marginalized students. Strict anti-discrimination policies, faculty training, and inclusive support system are essential to dismantle systemic bias and ensure every student feels seen, safe, and valued. Some are institutional gaps and failures in student mental health. The current educational system is often labeled score-centric and empathy deficient. Mental health support in institution is frequently inadequate and missing altogether. Stigma around mental health. Supreme Court has acknowledged the inadequate and ineffectiveness of existing legal and institutional framework. There is an urgent need for systemic reform to prioritize students' well-being alongside academic mental well-being. This is a cutting from famous newspaper. The important in this is warning signs of suicide. Isolation from family and friends, self-harm, drastic change in mood and behavior, changes in sleep and eating habit, drug and alcohol use, engaging in risking behavior, showing less interest in activity they previously enjoyed. These are recent tragedies. Just in September 2025, BITS Planning in South Goa campus, a 5th student suicide in 10th month shook the campus, spotlighting deep-rooted issues in institutional sport. In IIT Delhi, Supreme Court's task force was born from plea by families of 2 students who died by suicide, proof that even elite institutions are not immune. In Kota, Rajasthan, India's coaching capital remains a pressure cooker. In 2024 alone, 17 students died by suicide. One tragic case in March 2025 involved an 18-year-old JEE aspirant who ended his life just before his exam. The recent suicide of 14-year-old Ashir Nanda, a class 9th student of Kerala, has sent shockwaves through parents and students. It also raises urgent questions about administrative policies, student mental health, and the responsibility of educational institution. Some are other suicide news. The latest one is in May 28th, last one, of class 12 girl student hanged herself and died since he could not get high mark her plus 2 examination near Tamil Nadu. Well, there are many examples. Well, every 40 seconds suicide happens. This is the responsibility of government and government and institutions response. There is a bold movement by Supreme Court. In March 2025, Supreme Court of India declared a rising student suicide a suicide epidemic and launched a national task force to confront the crisis head-on. Led by Justice S. Ravindra Bhatt, the task force brings together top minds, psychiatrists, professors, legal experts, and officials to investigate root causes, evaluate current policies, and recommend urgent reforms. Latest action, a new website with anonymous survey has already drawn over 1 lakh responses from students, parents, educators. Nodal officers appointed across all states and UTs. Ground level visits underway to assess real conditions. Interim findings drop in end of September, with the final report expected by the year end. Till date, the interim report has not came. Supreme Court's landmark guidelines for student safety, mental health, and suicide prevention. Supreme Court issued 15 national-wide guidelines to address student suicide, mental health, and safety in educational institutions. This follows a case involving the death of 17-year-old NEET aspirant in Andhra Pradesh. A CBI investigation was ordered, and interim measures will apply until formal laws are enacted. Key guidelines are uniform mental health policy, qualified mental health support. Institution with 100 plus students must appoint trained counselors or psychologists. Smaller institution should create referral linkage, optimal student counselor ratio, no batch segregation or academic shaming. This is very important. Avoid dividing students by performance or shaming them. Academic target should be realistic and personalized. Referral systems and helplines, physical safety measures, install tamper-proof ceiling fans, strict access to rooftops, balconies and other high-risk areas. Special focus on coaching hubs, mandatory staff training, harassment and assault reporting, ensure accessible confidential reporting system, applicability across institutions, support to national task force, annual reporting, career counseling for students and guardians. Now next, what is call for action? India's suicide crisis demands more than sympathy. It needs system change. Underreported and misunderstood. Suicide data may be vastly underestimated due to stigma even after decriminalization. Support the signs early. Train parents, teachers and peers to recognize distress. Creative programs like Tamil Nadu Stops, school-based interventions using theatres of the oppressed for prevention of suicide are paving the way. Redefine success, move beyond the exam scores, build role models and safety nets for students under pressure. Empower institution, college must offer integrated mental health care and teach emotional resilience. Strength support, boost awareness of service like Telemanus is helpline, which has fielded over 1.8 billion calls but remain underutilized. Many more helplines are there like Roshni and many more, but still underutilized. As a psychiatrist, I believe preventing the increasing rate of student suicide is a significant and complex challenge that requires the coordinated efforts of schools, parents, communities and mental health professionals. By raising awareness, addressing stigma and ensure the availability of comprehensive support system, we can work together to create a safer, more supportive and nurturing environment where students feel empowered to seek help and thrive. Thank you.